A child walks into a quiet room filled with toys, bright colours, dolls, tiny furniture. Everything feels normal, safe. But in just a few minutes, this same child will begin to act aggressively, not because they were told to, but because they watched someone else do it. How does behaviour transfer so easily? In 1961, psychologist Albert Bandura set out to answer that question, and what he discovered changed psychology forever. At the time, many psychologists believed that learning only happened through rewards and punishments. But Bandura wasn't convinced. He asked a simple but powerful question. Can children learn aggression just by observing others, without any direct reinforcement? To test this, he designed an experiment at Stanford University using young children between the ages of 3 and 6. In the centre of the room stood a strange toy, a large inflatable clown called a Bobo doll. Weighted at the bottom, it would fall when hit, and then bounce right back up. Each child saw this same toy, but what changed was the adult's behaviour. Some children watched an adult act calm and gentle, quietly playing with other toys and ignoring the doll. Others saw an adult do nothing unusual at all, no interaction with the Bobo doll. And then, there was the third group. These children watched an adult suddenly turn aggressive. The adult punched the doll, kicked it, hit it with a mallet, and shouted phrases like "How, pow!" and "hit him." After watching the adult, each child was taken to another room. At first, they were allowed to play with attractive toys, but then, something frustrating happened. The toys were taken away. The child was told they were reserved for someone else. Frustration began to build, and then came the final stage. Each child was placed in a new room, this time filled with different toys, and right there again was the Bobo doll. Now, the researchers simply watched. Children who had seen the aggressive adult didn't just play, they imitated. They punched the doll, kicked it, used the same words, even repeated the exact actions they had just observed. Meanwhile, children who saw calm behaviour showed very little aggression. The results were clear. Children exposed to aggressive models were significantly more likely to behave aggressively themselves. They didn't need rewards. They didn't need instructions. They simply learned by watching. Bandura also noticed patterns. Boys showed more physical aggression than girls. Children were more likely to imitate adults of the same gender. This experiment led to a major breakthrough. Bandura introduced the concept of observational learning, the idea that people can learn new behaviours simply by observing others. This became a core part of social learning theory. Learning, he argued, isn't just about doing, it's also about seeing. Why it still matters today. Children today are surrounded by far more influences than ever before. They watch. Parents, teachers, movies. Social media, online content. Every action they see can become something they learn. So if behaviour can be learned just by watching, in a world where children are constantly observing, what are we teaching them without even realising it?